Hey guys, welcome to the GM's table. Before we get started, I want to remind everybody to like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. If you want to help support the channel more than that, check out the doobly-doo below, or this little scroll where we got the Patreon link where you can get videos early, get access to PDFs, all that other good stuff. Talk about it every time. Anyways, this is Let's Run Savage Worlds. Last week I did a video talking about how I'm not going to do like deep mechanic tutorials for a while because Savage Worlds Black's coming in a few months. At least the PDF, which is all I need to talk about stuff. And I don't want to talk about rules that might change. I don't want to get confusing. Some people said, do tutorials anyways, and then just change them when they come. That creates confusion, especially for new players. It's not good for the hobby or for people. Some people did request me to show how to do better characters, which I might cover. But this week, I've planned another Savage Settings. And this is a very important setting to me, but for a weird reason, because I don't tend to actually run this setting, but I use this book as if it were a companion. And that is Deadlands Noir. Now, anyone who keeps track of what I run and everything, I do a lot of ETU, I do a lot of modern stuff. Deadlands Noir is the go-to if you want to do noir or detective or any kind of mystery, all right? Now, I'm going to do a caveat up front. I'm actually not a huge fan of running Deadlands, or Deadlands Noir, or Deadlands Hell on Earth. It's nothing against the setting. It's a very fun setting. It's a very unique setting. It's an awesome setting. I just don't tend to run games that either have a ton of books I have to worry about which ones my players are using, or have a ton of lore and history that if I want to run it and feel true to the game, I need to know. I don't like holding on to all of that in my head. I'm a very much write your own. I'll take stuff and use it and make my own and be like, all right, yeah, it's Deadlands, but let's get real clear. It's my version of Deadlands, or it's a unique take. Deadlands is more of a shorthand. Deadlands Noir was actually the book I used to run my first campaign, which was modern day LA with Supernatural. Obviously not what Deadlands Noir is. But I'm going to go over in the book what I use. Now, I will also say this book is dense, has so much stuff I'm not even going to cover. There is a full plot point campaign in here. There is also a... Let me make sure of something. Okay. There is also Savage Tales in here. There is enough to run actual Deadlands for a long time. If New Orleans in this time period doesn't really scratch that itch for you, check out their companion. Multiple timeline or multiple eras, each with their own city. They cover Chicago, they cover LA, lots of great stuff, but this is really all you need. And without saying, oh, don't go support your friendly local game shops, none of my local game shops carry Savage Rules, so I buy these online. I got this for like $20 in hardback, okay? You can get this cheap if you don't want just the PDF. Now, going into the book, and each of these covers something I feel any GM should know. And the first is in their setting rules. I would not be surprised if some of these setting rules show up in the new rules for Savage Worlds, because in here there's some super useful stuff. For those running ETU or anything like that, we have hitting the books and legwork, which are great rules for doing research and the costs of research and legwork, where it's not just, oh, make just one streetwise roll. No, this is covering almost a montage of going to different places, talking to different people, having to bribe people, all that covered in legwork. And mechanically, it's basically the same as saying the book, just different skills. That's fine. That you can look over a bit. Now, in here, there is also knockout blows. I'm not going fully into it. A good bit of things are using it. Again, one I think is going to come up. I think that's just a cool one. Beyond that, though, we discuss, again, this is kind of your crime and mystery handbook. Everything you need to know about forensics and running forensics in your game. And then the biggest one, okay? This might be the biggest one the whole, well, not the adventure generator we're going to get to, but probably the biggest one mechanically, and what I really, really hope comes in the new Savage Worlds is Interrogations and Patter. One of my big worries with the new Tricks and Test of Will rules is anybody can taunt or can do tricks or test of wills, and you don't need taunt and intimidate anymore. And that's the only thing those skills were used for. Interrogation is how you use those skills. Patter can be how you use those skills. They are so useful. They are what bring the kind of the social rules for Savage Worlds back up to it's not just all persuasion. Okay? And yes, Patter can use persuasion. But these are basically modified social conflicts. That's all they are. They're specific rules for social conflicts. So you have your general social conflict rules in the core book, interrogation, which basically the same but different results table, and patter, basically the same, different results table. That alone is huge. It really fleshes out non-combat games tremendously. This page, the front and back of this page alone, worth the price of admission, hands down. Right after that is tailing, which is also really useful if you want to follow. Yeah, we have rules for chases when they're running from you. What if you want to follow them and they don't know you're there, or you want to make sure they don't know you're there? It might evolve into a chase. We have tailing rules as well. Really, really good stuff. This is stuff that doesn't have to just be in this game. These are rules that can fit in so many genres, so many games, so many settings. That is why I consider this basically a companion. Okay? So, going on from there, I'm not going into the magic rules. I'm not going into all that. Like I said, I'm looking at this as a companion. Now, there are great magic rules in here. They actually expand what the Huckster was from Deadlands to be any vice, so it gives a lot more freedom and a lot more RP. They have voodoo. All of their magic systems are unique and flavorful, and worth checking out, especially if you're a Deadlands fan. But after that is, I did say that might have been the most useful thing. Oh wait, no, the character or the adventure generator. That's where we're at. This is single-handedly the most useful thing if you run mysteries. When I did my City of Mist video, someone asked, well, but how do you use that in Savage Worlds mechanics? And the thing about the City of Mist game, which it's behind me on a chair, is their tools aren't system-based. It's how to write a mystery. You could use that to write a novel. This, however, making mysteries, this is how to mechanically build mystery adventures with Savage Worlds mechanics. Okay? This is huge. It's step by step. It's an adventure generator that generates mysteries. And not just, the structure of the story. Lots of adventure generators do that. But we have the hook, the event. This is all sounding pretty standard. The perpetrator. All right. The motive. All right. But step 5. It generates evidence, and it shows you how to generate evidence in a very simple way. You have different types of evidence, and then you cover whether it's circumstantial or concrete. This alone, when you combine it with the whole thing, lets you add foreshadowing to your adventures in a random generator. I cannot emphasize how useful that is for a GM. Okay? There's some optional ones of location, and I do love the twist section, so you can add twists to it. Great for noir. But the evidence generator, when you combine it with the whole mystery generator, is amazing. And it's also amazing because I don't have my book cam set. This paragraph right here, that's it. That's really the whole thing. It is super short, but just like so many things with Savage Worlds, mechanically it's very simple and very concise, but it does everything you need it to. Okay? Now, it doesn't generate like the minute detail of what it is. Again, as I said, it covers whether it's circumstantial or if it's direct evidence, which is like concrete evidence. And then you randomly generate as part of that as well, whether it's physical, testimonial, or documentary. And they have little descriptions of what each of those kinds mean. That's the broad stroke. So it's a physical piece of direct evidence. That could be anything. But knowing that, and that is what's in this scene, it's huge. Trust me, if you've run mysteries and you've had those areas where you get stumped, this can save you. Now this, it says roll a d6 to determine how much evidence is for the case, which means some cases might basically be unsolvable. Or you could roll and get 6 in it with 6 pieces of circumstantial evidence, and you can't definitively prove it. That's part of noir. But again, a random evidence generator is huge. Then finally, at least for the things I really care about, is the rogues gallery. We just skipped over the whole plot point. and the Savage Tales. I don't want to get into those because, again, this is a noir and it's a mystery. I don't really want to spoil those if this is what you enjoy. This Rogues Gallery, I use at least as much as the Horror Companions Rogues Gallery. And it's a little shorter, but like their Crossroad Demon is the Crossroads Demon I use. Pure. There's basically a Crossroads Demon in the Horror Companion. I like this one better. This one gives a very concise list of enemies. And yes, they're built around noir and horror, but it's everything you need. Seriously. This is everything you need. It will cover all kinds of stuff. I love things like the Hyde, which is the Hyde from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but it turns out it's from a drug. I've run an entire ETU adventure about this, because there's actually a Savage Tale in ETU that's similar with athletes and kind of like this almost magic steroid. Hydes made that way more interesting. This is a phenomenal supplemental. They have Hellhounds in here. Now, if you're running ETU, you also have Hellhounds. Now you can pick between the two. Again, I actually tend to like theirs better. Now, that said, that's because it's Deadlands. Everything's a little more deadly in here. Now, I will say, if you're already familiar with Deadlands, all of that stuff's in here. You don't need Deadlands Reloaded to run Noir. And I could see that being confusing for some people. This is its own game. This has everything you need for your Herod. This has all your magic rules. This has all your fear level rules. All of that. And most of those, again, like fear, I don't talk about fear level because I don't really use it. Another great mechanic that first showed up in Deadlands that can be used in any horror setting. Okay? Very small tweaks. But that's it. Without going into full breakdown, like I said, I wanted to review this as a companion. As something you can use for any game, not just Deadlands. But if you love Deadlands, seriously, check it out. So that's it, guys. I tried to run it through quickly. I like shorter videos. I know not a lot of people have a ton of time to watch stuff. So I hope you guys found this informative, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye. If you like that video, check out another video over here. Whatever it is, it's probably pretty good. Don't forget to like, share so other people can find the channel, and subscribe right up there. YouTube now won't let me put a link to the Patreon, but there is a link down in the description below. So if you want to help support the channel, check that out, and I will catch you guys next time.